wrestling fans. Once upon a time, by that I mean a few weeks ago, I had a wrestling channel called Wrestling Recapped. As you can see, it got popular. Well, popular enough for me. Unfortunately, YouTube didn't like my old channel, so it got axed. The video you're about to watch got the most views on that old channel of mine. Probably because I made a mistake in it. I challenge you to find that mistake.
Don't challenge me.
Bill Goldberg, the iconic professional wrestler who captured the hearts of fans around the world with his incredible strength, intensity, and an impressive winning streak. With a career spanning over 2 decades, he was presented as an event unto himself thanks to his ridiculously long entrance that involved watching him walk all the way from his dressing room, flanked by a security detail and sticking his head in pyro.
Who's next? Hey, you're all next.
However, Goldberg was far from perfect, as he has been deemed as an unsafe, dangerous worker. Just ask BRET.
Goldberg, to me, was one of the most unprofessional wrestlers there ever was in the business.
Today, let's take a look at how many wrestlers Goldberg has injured in his 20-year-long professional wrestling career. Our first spot goes to PARKA. PARKA made the jump from wrestling in Mexico to wrestle in WCW's Cruiserweight division in 1996.
Not one, but 2 steel shots for you. One for me and one for my homies.
He became quite the sensation during his time in World Championship Wrestling. While the man under the iconic mask and skeleton suit would never find success in the form of championships, he became widely known by American audiences for his wrestling style, entrance, dance moves, and overall memorable look.
Yo, let me speak on this.
Unfortunately, PARKA died due to complications from a ring injury he had sustained 2 months prior in January of 2020. During that fateful match, PARKA launched himself through the ropes onto his outside ring opponent, but not before getting one of his feet caught in the ropes. Botched move, he violently hit his head on the exterior railing and concrete floor. During a WCW Monday Nitro episode, an interesting spot occurred when Goldberg took a massive chair shot and sold it as if nothing had happened.
Go ahead. Oh, he did.
Later, Goldberg hit a vicious spear that legitimately hurt PARKA and tore his ACL.
Who doesn't need a wake-up? See? Has come alive. The man.
Goldberg, probably not having enough ring awareness, hooked the injured leg of PARKA for the jackhammer.
Oh, she wrote.
This put poor PARKA out of the wrestling scene for a few months. Second on this list is Scott Steiner, known by wrestling fans as Big Papa Pump, a legendary figure in the world of professional wrestling. With his imposing physique and larger-than-life personality, Steiner has left a lasting impact on the industry.
Macho Man.
From his athletic achievements to his infamous catchphrases,
Holler! If you hear me!
Holla! If you hear me!
Steiner's journey is filled with excitement, triumph, and a few surprises along the way. On an episode of WCW Nitro, Goldberg is seen taking on Jeff Jarrett, Kevin Nash, and Scott Steiner. Goldberg botches a basic routine wrestling punch and hits Steiner in the face, breaking his orbital bone. Goldberg has apologized to Steiner, and Steiner doesn't hold any grudges. However, Steiner, being Steiner, did not take any time off to heal. Instead, he was back wrestling with a protective face mask on. Third on the list is the best there is, best there was, best there ever will be, BRET the Hitman Hart.
And you will be excellently executed.
Arguably the greatest wrestler to lace up a pair of boots, Hart's attention to detail inside the squared circle is second to none. Beloved by fans, the Hitman's career was filled with championships and memorable matches. One of Bret Hart's achievements is that he never injured a single opponent during his entire wrestling career, but the Hitman's career came to an end because of an injury caused by his opponent. Bret Hart and Goldberg clashed in the main event of WCW Starrcade in December of 1999. What was supposed to be a moment for the two former WCW Tag Team Champions to shine turned into a match with dire consequences. In an interview with the Columbus Dispatch, one of the last things BRET said to Goldberg before they walked out to the ring was, "Don't hurt me." A botched super kick by Goldberg effectively ended Bret Hart's career as it led to lifelong consequences for the Hitman, and Steven Richards perfectly summed up the situation.
You're going to get hurt. You probably are going to get concussed.
A fun fact about this match is that it had a total of 2 ref bumps in it. The Undertaker is arguably the greatest superstar to have stepped foot inside a wrestling ring, winning numerous championships and having classic matches. What made Undertaker special was arguably the greatest character and persona of all time. With a career spanning over 30 years, the dead man has made an everlasting impact in the pro wrestling industry. It is safe to say that there will never be another Undertaker in the professional wrestling business.
You'll suffocate on your own breath.
Thanks to WWE's $500 million deal with Saudi Arabia, gave semi-retired legends the occasionally ridiculous high payday in exchange for nearly killing each other. Goldberg suffered a concussion and remained groggy throughout this match. After hitting Taker with a spear, Goldberg lifted the Phenom up for his famous jackhammer, a move that's hard enough to execute when one's brains aren't scrambled, but this particular jackhammer jacked Taker's back.
Do this to the Undertaker! No way! Oh my God!
What was supposed to be a dream match between the WCW icon and the living legend at the Super Showdown in 2019 will go down in history as an absolute disaster. Finally, the man Goldberg has injured the most is none other than himself. In the main event of WCW's Halloween Havoc in 1998, Goldberg managed to give himself a concussion while spearing DDP, hitting his head on the mat a little too hard. On another occasion during a backstage segment of WCW Thunder, Goldberg got way too much into his character and decided to hit the glass of the car with his own bare fists. This resulted in him severing an artery in his wrist, which put him out of action for months. Lastly, we again have the Super Showdown match with The Undertaker. Even before the bout started, Goldberg concussed himself by hitting his head too hard on the door as part of his gimmick. Scott Hall can best describe Goldberg's state of mind.
Brother, I didn't know what country I was in. I don't even remember being there.
He further concussed himself by hitting his head accidentally on the steel post. If you'd like to see more weekly wrestling content like this, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Comment down below in case I have missed another wrestler Goldberg may have hurt, or any other time Goldberg might have injured himself.